we are just going to be done with lockdown 3.0.
Percentage of the infection in children compared to the adults, it is
So doctor, this COVID-19, how dangerous it is for children? What should the teachers do? What should the principals do? What should the parents do? And what should the children do? Hello, Kowai Post viewers. It has been a turbulent period and we are just going to be done with lockdown 3.0. Researchers, one of Indian origin, has revealed that children, at least 40% of children, just like the adults with underlying conditions, are at greater risk of COVID. So today, we have with us Dr. Brinda, pediatrician at the Royal Care Hospital, who will tell us what we need to do or how we need to take care of children who are infected with COVID, also having underlying medical conditions and otherwise. Let us talk to her. Hello, doctor.
hello.
So, doctor, this COVID-19, how dangerous it is for children? What is the age group of children that are more vulnerable?
Okay, yes. COVID-19, it is relatively a new disease, and the researches and the data has been coming around worldwide. So far from what the data what we have got is that the percentage of the infection in children compared to the adults, it is relatively less, and the symptoms are also less severe and the complications are also less severe compared to the adult population in pediatric population. The researchers are finding out why is the reason for that. Having said that, there are also certain population of the children who are at higher risk compared to other children. Those groups include the children with chronic underlying diseases like who have weaker immunity, or the children who have like chronic medical diseases like chronic lung diseases, who have some heart ailments, or who are under treatment for various autoimmune conditions, who are under steroids. Their immune system is relatively weak, so that it makes them at a higher risk of getting the infection.
Okay.
And also the complications are also very high in that group of population.
Okay, and doctor, is there a specific age group?
COVID-19, it affects everyone, right from newborn age group.
Those
even
vulnerable. I'm talking about the vulnerable children.
vulnerable
Is there
age
a
group. If you
range?
ask the children who are less than 1 year or who are just born neonates, they are at a higher risk. Why?
Okay.
Because their immunity is relatively less compared to other group of population.
Okay.
So those are the children who have to be handled at very relative care, excess care.
Okay. So, doctor, there are researches that indicate that children with underlying medical conditions are at greater risk. But children per se are at risk is what we, heard of from the experts when the whole COVID-19 episode started. So, could you tell us what kind of children, the age group of children that are vulnerable and prone to corona?
Okay. Children by and large are relatively asymptomatic compared to adult population, especially in this new type of infection. But there are certain age group of children who are more vulnerable, as you ask. The children who are just born, we say neonates, or who are less than 1 year of the age group.
Okay.
These children, they have a compromised immune system or relatively immune
Less
deficient. Yeah. So these are the children who are at risk of COVID-19 infection. And apart from that, there are a few groups of children who have chronic medical conditions or who are under the treatment for those conditions, like who have some cardiac disease or who have some lung issues, who are on treatment with oxygen or other immune suppressive drugs like steroids, or the children who have autoimmune conditions in their body. These are the group of children who possess a greater risk for COVID-19 infection. The symptoms can can be mild or moderate, and the same time the complication in this age group can also be very severe. So
Okay.
these are the children who have to be who have to be managed carefully and practice all the preventive measures compared to normal children.
Children. Okay.
Yes.
So, doctor, there are also researches that indicate that about 40% of children
Yes.
who have been affected due to corona
Yes.
have been, have had to go under ventilators
Yes.
for respiratory support.
Yes.
So, how does that happen, and how long does it take for these children to come out of the ventilators?
Okay. The COVID-19 is relatively a new infection, and there are no proper established treatment protocols or any proven drugs which are said to reduce the severity of the infection. So what we all know and what we practice is the set guidelines from the professional bodies. So it's a very, premature to say how long the children be on the ventilator and how come they can come out of the ventilator. It all depends on their immune system only. There is some reports suggestive of immune dysregulation in certain group of children who are at a higher risk, as I previously pointed out, and these group of children, they may need a prolonged ventilatory support. Apart from that small subset of the population, by and large most of the children they get cured without any medicines itself, meaning that the symptoms will subside on its own in a time frame of about 14 days or a maximum of 28 days. And also the maximum treatment they may require is only oxygen. So sick children may need oxygen support, may need extra high dependency care unit for an extra period of time.
Okay. And how about mothers, doctor? How do they ensure that
Yes.
if a child contracts COVID-19, how should the mother ensure that she is safe and at the same time take care of the children?
You're
also?
asking about neonate or general?
You can, I think, tell about both. We will obviously
Yeah,
have
okay.
both the conditions.
So it will be in two sets of
Yeah,
answers
sure.
if you ask. As far as neonates are considered, there are two things. If the mother, the pregnant mother is COVID negative, the neonate can be treated as normal. There are no differentiation between other babies. But if the mother is COVID positive, or if we call it as person under investigation, meaning the reports are not yet come. So in that case, there has to be some guidelines to be followed. American Academy of Pediatrics along with the NNF and WHO, they have given specific guidelines how a mother should be treated and a neonate should be treated in that case.
Okay.
First thing is the physical distancing is a must for a normal population, but considering the neonate and the mother, it is very difficult to practice that safe distancing guidelines and all those things. So two things we have to keep in mind is whether a mother needs to breastfeed or not breastfeed. Okay. If the mother want to breastfeed, you can always give expressed breast milk. Okay. You can during the expression of the breast milk, the mother should follow the safe guidelines, like she has to wash her hands and wear a mask while expressing.
Which means the virus does not get transmitted through breast milk.
Till date, there is no
Evidence.
reports of suggesting breast milk transmission.
Okay.
They have tried to isolate researchers have tried to isolate the virus from the breast milk, but till date there is no isolation from the breast milk. So it is safe to breastfeed the baby. And as you know, breast milk is supposed to be the very good medicine for any baby. It contains a lot of immunogenic factors, so it is good to breastfeed the baby. So while expressing, she has to wear a mask and wash her hands and wash all the breast pumps and etc. which she is using the same method. And the milk which has been expressed, that has to be fed to the baby by any healthy volunteer, like you say healthcare worker or some healthy attender who does not have any symptoms. They can feed the baby. Okay. And the second thing, if the mother want to directly feed the baby, that is also possible. You teach the mother regarding the possible respiratory transmission, And in that case, also you can ask the mother to wear a mask and directly feed the baby, and that's all. So these are the techniques which has to be followed to prevent the transmission from mother to child.
Okay.
Okay.
And how about toddlers? I mean, let's talk about
Yeah,
toddlers
they move
and
around a
teenagers.
lot.
Yeah. So, and I think they are potential carriers who ensure that
Exactly.
everybody, even the old at home,
Exactly.
get transmitted. So, how does one contain it? And also, quarantine is a challenge when it comes to children.
Exactly.
So, how does one manage that?
Exactly. Right. Good question. So if you come to that the age about 2 years, it's very difficult to control them. They will be moving around a lot, which means they are at higher risk of getting the infection, though they might not exhibit the symptoms. We call it as asymptomatic carriers. Though there are no symptoms per se for the particular index child, they can transmit the infection to the household population. There might be grandparents, grandmothers, and who are having chronic medical conditions. So
Right.
they may get the infection from those children. So in that case, what we can do is we can always follow the safe distancing measures and hygienic measures like hand washing, respiratory hygiene, like you teach the child to wash the hand before and after eating, before going out and coming in, and before using the restrooms, and after using the restrooms, and soon after handling the pets which you have at home, before them getting interacted, going and getting interacted with the elderly population. These are the things that can be done. Washing hands. Number two, they can follow that safe distancing measures, 2 feet, when talking to the grandparent or something, wherever possible. It is not possible always, wherever possible. And the third thing is that any children about 2 years of age can wear a mask. Okay.
Right.
Though it is not safe under less than 2 years, considering that all those suffocation problems, any children about 2 years, they can be taught to wear a mask. And it is always very important for the parents to sit and talk to the child. You always have an open, honest conversation with the child, according to their age appropriate developmental level. Okay, so that they can understand of the what is going around them. And they can also learn something. They can be empowered by themselves, and so that they can also instead of forming a link in the chain of transmission, they can also be used to stop the chain of transmission at some point. Okay. And the most important thing, we should not take the child to all the social family gatherings and all those
right.
things to some time. Okay.
So, and one more doubt that every parent has is with regard to the herbal concoctions that are being suggested, like Nilavembu Kudineer and Kabasura Kudineer. So, this has been advocated by the government itself. So, what can the children be given these concoctions, doctor?
Yes. If you ask me, till date, as I said, there is no drug or no medicine or nothing in the alternative medicine has been
But this
proven.
is supposed to boost immunity.
Yeah, it is known as immunomodulator by and large. So as there is no cure, there are lots of things coming around said to boost the immunity.
Right.
As long as it is not harming the health of the children, the parents under their own discretion can try that, but there is no guarantee that it will cure or it will prevent the onset of infection. That should not set a false or that should not give a false sense of security for the parents to break all the safe distancing maneuvers. Okay. So it's better, prevention is always better than it's better safe than to be sorry at this stage. Okay.
Thank you so much for talking to Go Air Post, doctor, and thank you so much for the information.
Thank you.